So I've got some more wood now. I've also, well, I was thinking about the fold down workbench last night. I had a bit of an epiphany, and I was looking at some of other people's designs, and I realised that in order for the legs to fold down properly within the inside of the skirts, they're actually, because of the design of the table and the size, they're actually going to be longer than the tabletop is. I'll show you one here. So here's the tabletop. If you imagine, the leg is gonna fold down like this. It's actually, because of the length of the leg, it's actually going to come out past the end of the table. So, which means it's going to hang down. And given that the workbench or the worktop on the plate is going to sit further back, it means it'd actually hang out and sit on at an angle across the plate, so I don't want that. So what I've done, I've actually cut down the plate on the wall. I took it off the wall and cut it. I cut the hinge as well, so I've cut 21 centimetres off each end of the plate, so that will mean that the legs, when they fold down, will fold down. This isn't a leg, but you'll get the idea. As the leg folds down, it can fold down. It'll actually be that way around. It can fold down past the plate, so it'll fold down like that. That's what happens when you make things up as you go along. Maybe I should have drawn a plan, but I hadn't seen on any of the other videos where people had made their own workbenches that they'd kind of showed that you need to do that. So when it's made, I'll hopefully give a clearer explanation of what I mean. So I've mited the corners of the skirt, and I've changed it slightly. I've squared it off at this end over here, so it's flush with the end. So that's kind of the start of the skirt done for the table. Now what I need to do is fix this to the table and fix this joint together here. So now I'm just mitering together these skirts. I've put a clamp on just to make it easier. I'm going to just drill and screw them. I'm going to clamp these ends on, so hopefully it'll hold it tight. Just make sure it's lined up. Doesn't have to be exact. That's not going anywhere now. Clamped either end. I'm going to flip it over now and mark my line where I need to draw. Hopefully it won't fall off and the clamps will hold it sufficiently. Yep, they've held it, so I won't keep them like this too long. The skirts are 12.5 centimetres in. They are about 40 millimetres or 4 centimetres wide, so halfway will be 14.5 centimetres in, so that's where I want to draw my line for my screws. I'm going to pilot and screw the skirts in, starting at the end where I've got it clamped, so I'll screw. Again, I've got the countersink bit on here, so I can countersink the screws. I'm using 50mm screws. Side piloted and screwed. Try and show you. There you go. The joys of a small work area. I'm marking roughly where I'm going to put the screws. I'm not measuring it exactly, just doing it so I've got a good number of screws in. I need to have at least 39mm for the legs to come down, so I'll show you what I mean now in terms of them swinging down. We'll move this prop out of the way. So the legs are going to come down like this in here, and the legs are going to go like that. So as you can see at the bottom, the reason I cut it back is so that there's enough room for the legs to fold down and not interfere with the plate on the wall. That's the idea. They're going to go like that. I'm going to screw the hinge to the actual worktop. I'm going to use my centre punch again, just to punch the holes. So that's 5 holes punched. Because the MDF's only 15mm, I can't use very big screws. I'm just checking. These ones will be fine. These are actually 16mm, but because of the actual hinge itself, they should be fine. They're only little. Look. So I've got all the holes screwed in on the hinge now, so I'm going to test that it hinges okay. Pretty good. I'm going to cut the legs and cut them slightly longer so I can put them on and just check how level everything's sitting. Then I can always unbolt them and just cut them again. It's better to make them too long to start with than too short. So I'm gonna cut those, and then I'm going to attach them to the table. So I've cut the rounded mark. Well, drawn the rounded mark round. I'm going to cut it now with my jigsaw. That's rounded off. So to hold the legs on, I'm going to use these M12 bolts, they're 12mm bolts. I'm going to drill a hole using this, it's called a wood beaver, but it's basically like an auger bit or a spade bit. So I'm going to just drill the holes through for the, this is 12mm, this is 12mm. I think it's going to be quite a snug fit. If I'm a bit careless, I'll wiggle it about a bit anyway and it'll give a bit more room. So now I'm going to attach the legs to the table. I'm going to clamp it on first. Get it almost touching the top at here. So as I say, it's torn out a bit at the back. The one thing I wasn't doing, you have to keep moving it in and out, otherwise you just get all the wood shavings stuck and it just burns its way through. But that's through there nicely. So I've done the legs on both sides. I've attached them using the bolts. I'm just going to loosely tighten the nut on it, because I'm probably going to have to cut the leg again just to make sure it's exactly the right height. But just securing it loosely, I mean, it won't come off. I'm going to fold the table down and just see how it's looking. So I folded the table down. It's pretty square, but I overcut the legs deliberately. It's probably do with a couple of mil off each leg. So I'm going to just do that now, just to make sure that it's as level as it can be. The bubble's almost in the middle, but it could be better. Good, I've adjusted the legs and it's nice and level. I've now got my my mitre saw on here, so it's already in use, which is good. I'm going to put a stop block on the legs now, and I'll film that from underneath. So I'm underneath the table now. I'm going to put a stop block on the legs here, so that it folds down, it won't go any further, and also it's easier just to grab one piece to pull the legs down. It's easy to do it once it's on because you've got the legs in place, and you know where you need to line it up. So I'm going to just drill 2 pilot holes into this. This is just CLS again. I'm going to clamp it on first and do the same on each side. I'm using 100mm screws. So that's not going anywhere. The stop block's on now, so we'll test it to see what happens when we lift the table. Looks good. So again, we're looking to pull the table down. We just grab hold of the stop block, and then nice and sturdy. I haven't tightened the bolts yet, so I'm going to do that now. So that's the legs fully secured. I've also just made a very simple latch just to stop it falling down. It's pretty primitive, but it does the job. So looking good. I've cut 3 bits of CLS that I've had left over. I'm going to drill some holes in them just so I can mount them on the back plate. So I'm just going to screw straight through these into the back plate. I'll show you now. The workbench, and this is the plate on the wall that the hinge sits on. I don't want too much weight being put on it, so I'm just going to drill these into the wall. They've gone past the hinge, and they're actually supporting the work surface itself. So the plan is that they just give it some extra support rather than relying on the plate to take all the weight. So I've got one at each end and then one in the middle. So I've mounted the little I suppose bearers underneath, or plates. As you can see, they sit slightly above the hinge and flush with it when it's closed. I've got 3 on there. They're just there to take the weight off the work table and not to have it on the hinge. So I'll show you. Still folds down okay, and I'm quite pleased with it. Here's the finished workbench. I'm actually outside the garage. Quite a lot of room to work with. I've put all my wood underneath. That's probably going to make you feel sick. I'll fold it up now if I can. I've got a battery connected to this, so I'll put it in my pocket. So this is the test. Can I fold it up one-handed? There we go, all folded up and out the way. Still plenty of room, well, a bit more room in my garage, and they can still fold down whilst over all the wooden bits. So that's the end of my video on how to make a fold down workbench. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, it's been my first video, so I'm still learning. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. But if you give us a thumbs down, please give me some feedback on how I can improve it, otherwise I won't get any better. Hopefully I'm going to be making some more videos on how to do various things. One of the things I've learned is there's very little room in my garage, so hopefully the workbench will help with that. The other thing is my camera doesn't seem to have much of a wide angle on it, so I seem to be quite close up on a lot of things. The camera's actually out. There's going to be hopefully a video coming every week. I'll try and do some tool reviews as well, and maybe some little hints and tips. See you soon. Bye.